cool, then warm, then almost hot, and then very cold, and then warm again. That's the 2023 Northern Virginia housing slash real estate market review in a nutshell. That's the Cliff Notes version. My name is Danilo Bogdanovic, licensed realtor in Virginia since 2004, and I'm here with your 2023 review and recap. And I'm going to touch upon a little bit about what we might expect this year, but I'm going to do another video on that here shortly. So stick around for the next one for more on that. As I said, that's the Cliff Notes version for those of you who just want to get a quick tidbit of what went on. I'm going to go in a little bit more detail next and then into a lot more detail afterwards for those who are really data driven and want to know the nitty gritty. So yeah, the end of 22 was pretty a low note in the last 4 years. The second half of 22, we saw values in conditions deteriorate about 5% on the value side, and then they started to go back up between January, hence the cool, up through about June, July. They went up approximately 5 to 7% the first 6 months of the year. Then come the end of October, when rates shot up to 8%, it was like crickets. Buyers just, the ones that were left said, nope, I'm going to sit out. There were some buyers still out, but the majority of them sat by the sidelines. Then just as fast as rates went up to 8, they dropped to 6.62. And when that happened, it was like the floodgates opened. Usually December is one of the 2 slowest months of the year, August being the other one. And this December was busier than probably any of the other months, the second half of this year. I actually ratified several contracts, including negotiating contracts on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the week in between Christmas and New Year's. Real estate doesn't know anything. Doesn't care what holiday it is. It just does its thing. But that was primarily due to the interest rates, and the buyers, some of the buyers that were waiting on the sidelines finally came out. What caused all this? I mean, at the end of the day, supply and demand, right? It's the ratio of supply to demand. How much demand is there, and is there enough supply to offset that demand? The answer is still no. Supply is still very low. We did see more listings coming on the market than usual in end of Q2, end of Q3, beginning of Q4. But much like it normally does every year, listings slow down and through December. So when the rates dropped and the buyers came out, there were even less homes for sale at that time than just a month or two before. And that led to the market getting warmer, which is why it went from cold to warm. And we really finished off 23, on a very strong note, which, you may not want to hear as a buyer, but as a seller you do. What's going on currently, what we might expect for 24, in a very brief kind of nutshell, if this continues, we're most likely going to see what buyers dread the most, which is a return of the multiple offers and competing, having to do all sorts of different things and really put your best foot forward to be competitive as a buyer. Sellers love that, buyers don't. Will that happen? There's no guarantee. Why am I saying I think it will? Because the folks that I trust who've been pretty spot on, that I've been working with and speaking with for 25 years, who have an extremely good track record, they called the 8%. They called the 8% a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And when it happened, I called them and I said, wow, you were right again. And other folks also, they're experts in the industry, who've been in the industry 30, 40, 50 years, are saying that we could definitely see, well, not definitely, we could most likely see rates drop to 6 and possibly even in the 5s by the end of this year. Just depends on a number of different factors. But, we're at 6.6, 6.7. Rates are, much better than 8, much better than the 7s they were first half of 23, et cetera. So it's getting better. The lower the interest rates go, the more sellers will say, okay, I know I have a 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4% interest rate. Now it makes a little bit more sense financially for me to move at 6.5% or 6%. Those are the same folks who said, "No way, I'm moving at 7.5% or 8%. I'm not going to give up my mortgage for at 2.5 to 4 for this." So the lower rates go down, the more sellers will bring inventory on the market. But by the same token, a lot of them are also buying, and also the folks who don't have a home to sell, who are buying, are also going to come out. So the demand, I think, and the people I talk to think, the demand will outweigh the supply yet again. And no, builders cannot build them fast enough. They're also not building the right products. Builders in this area are building a ton of 55 plus, as well as the luxury townhomes and the larger single families. They're building the 2/2 condos, as they call them, which are a townhouse style condo. But if you look at the price point, it's well above a condo. And if you're looking for a townhome, like a starter townhome, they're not the same products. And in fact, their condo fees make them considerably more expensive than a townhome of the same price, because the HOA fee is much lower on a townhome than it is on a condo. So the builders are helping a little bit, but not much, because the products that they're building are geared towards the wealthy, to be honest. The better off. First-time home buyers, they're not building really those types of products. And it's a domino effect. You need the bottom to move up, and them to move up, and them to move up, etc. It's all interdependent upon each other. So that's my kind of quick take on 2024. I'm going to do a more in-depth video here in the next few days to a week, possibly, about 2024 predictions, or at least best guesses, and talk about what maybe could happen if this happens, etc. If you have specific questions, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm always here. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I'm wishing everybody a happy and healthy 2024. Hope it's an amazing year. I think it will be, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.